Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, and texts 23, 24, and 25. I will read the first two verses myself. Text 23. Yasyoru shringe jagatim swanavam manur yatha bhadya tatara durgham saeva nas tvashtra bhayat durantat trasatitan varicharopi nonam. Translation. The Manu named King Satyavrata formerly saved himself by tying the small boat of the entire world to the horn of the Matsya Avatara, the fish incarnation. By the grace of the Matsya Avatara, Manu saved himself from the great danger of the flood. May that same fish incarnation save us from the great and fearful danger caused by the son of Tvasta. 24. Pura swayambhurapi swayamambasi udhirna vatormi ravai karale ekoravindha patitas tatara tasmad bhayadyena sanostu para. In the beginning of creation, a tremendous wind caused fierce waves of inundating water. The great waves made such a horrible sound that Lord Brahma almost fell from his seat on the lotus into the water of devastation. But he was saved with the help of the Lord. Thus, we also expect the Lord to protect us from this dangerous condition. Text 25. Ya eka isho nijamaya yanaha sasarjayena anushujama vishvam vayam nayasyapi pura samihataha pashyama lingam prudagishamaninaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created us by His external potency and by whose mercy we expand the creation of the universe, is always situated before us as the Super Soul, but we cannot see His form. We are unable to see Him because all of us think that we are separate and independent gods. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here is an explanation of why the conditioned soul cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Even though the Lord appears before us as Lord Krishna or Lord Ramachandra and lives in human society as a leader or king, the conditioned soul cannot understand him. Avajananti mudha manushim tanumashritam. Rascals, mudas deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking Him an ordinary human being. However insignificant we are, we think that we are also God, that we can create a universe, or that we can create another God. This is why we cannot see or understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya says, Lingam eva pashyamaha kadachid abhimanastu devanam apisanniva prayaha kaleshu nastyeva taratamyena sopitu. We are all conditioned to various degrees, but we think we are God. This is why we cannot understand who God is or see Him face to face. The sense of Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. So we are reading from the chapter title, The Appearance of the Demon Vrutrasura. And in this chapter we have seen few shlokas back that demon Vrutrasura indeed makes his appearance. And so the demigods, looking at his power, they become bewildered, and in a helpless situation, they are offering their prayers to the Supreme Lord. So here they are mentioning some examples of how Krishna, the Lord, has protected his devotees previously. So they are appealing to the Lord to protect them similarly this time. And so here in the last shloka, they are mentioning, although the Lord is before us in the form of the super soul, we are not able to understand or not able to see him because pashyama lingam prutag ishamanina, because we think that we are also an independent controllers. So that is the context. Actually, nowadays, looks like there is a lot of research going on about ants. The scientists are interested to understand what the ants are doing. And, generally ants, I quoted this example in one of the classes also. The ants, they save the grains for the rainy day, for this season. So, when the scientists are analyzing, they understood that whenever an ant gets a grain, it divides that into two and keeps them into their godown. Ants have godowns, storekeepers, everything is there. So then they were very curious, why is the ant breaking the grain into two? Then they figured out that if the grain is broken, then it will not germinate. It will not become a seedling, a small plant. It will not, So that's why the ants break the seeds so that it won't grow into some plant or something, and they miss the food. So that's going on, and meanwhile they saw there is one coriander seed, and this time the ant has broken the coriander seed into 4 parts. And they were surprised. Why is this? Other seeds are only 2. Now it is broken into 4. So they started analyzing. They found that coriander seed, if you break them into 2, still seedling is possible. It can germinate and become a small seedlings. So that's why the ant knows that this is a coriander seed. And if I break only into 2, then it will not. It is not okay. So it breaks them into 4, and then store it. And that's all. The scientists are blown off. How is it that they are so intelligent? We also don't know that coriander seed. Ants have such an intelligence. Even scientists are bewildered. Then the story goes one step further. Then they found, one day they saw one of the ants, fellow ants, got injured. Day-to-day existence, they have very fragile legs, and whole body is very small. So then one of the fellow ants came to this ant and found that that fragile leg, something gone wrong. And then in front of the eyes of the scientists, that ant has performed a surgery and amputated that leg of that ant, that fellow ant which got injured. So now the scientists are blown off. We are thinking only human society has surgeons. Here is a much more skilled surgeon. In fact, they found that the fellow ant doesn't do operations every time. First it analyzes whether it can be cured by some medicine. If not, then it does a skilled operation and removes that little portion. They found that 90% success rate in the surgery. You know? Other cases probably they won't have seen 100%. Nowadays, not all doctors, but some doctors, you go with any problem, they immediately say surgery, cut karo. But ant is not saying, first it will analyze whether medicine is okay, and then, if not, then do the surgery. How is it that the smallest, the living entity that we see is exhibiting such a powerful intelligence and skill? This is a big mystery for the scientists. Because in human society, if somebody has to become a surgeon, first 5 years of MBBS, and before that you have to cross NEET, that examination, and then 5 years of MBBS, and then after that there is a specialization. You become a surgeon. That is the. So just to develop such a talent and skill in the human society, we see it takes so many years. But here we are seeing in the ant society, that kind of a skilled operations they are able to do, and getting a 90% success rate. They were shocked. So there is this universal intelligence. They don't want to accept, but that indicates to the presence of an universal intelligence. So here the demigods are appealing to that universal intelligence, Krishna, in the form of the super soul. The Lord who is giving the intelligence to that ant is the Lord in the heart, and he is the super soul, and he knows how to guide that living entity. So that's why here they are saying, Ya Ika Isho Nijamaya Naha. There is only one Isha, the Supreme Controller. Nijamaya, by his energy, he is actually Sasarja. He is creating, is maintaining, and is destroying. And Yena Anusrujama Vishwam. We are also creating, but Anusrujama. Anu means following the direction of the original creator. We are also creating and expanding the creation, but we are actually completely dependent on the Supreme Creator, that is Krishna. So Nijamaya. So one has to understand that there is a energy which is actually working in this world. And through that energy we see creation, maintenance and destruction is going on. Like in this ant society, so we see the maintenance is there, and very intelligently it happens. Similarly, once I was, coming from Vijayawada to Hyderabad, and then slowly I saw that driver is doing like this. So I got scared. So I offered to him, if you want, you can take coffee, tea or something, Basically, if he feels inhibited, hesitant because Swamiji is seated behind and how can I ask coffee, tea? No problem, you please ask, otherwise you'll ask my life. Coffee, tea is okay, much better. So he went there, and then our car was parked next to some bushes. And then it is just close to my window, so just I happened to see there is one interesting bird. I think not bird, there is a small animal, maybe squirrel type, and it is moving around and it is doing something. And at one point, suddenly, the squirrel became very, alert, stunned and all that. I thought probably it has found me or something like that. But actually, one big bird just zoomed into the bush to catch this squirrel. Tuck, the squirrel disappeared into the bushes, and then there is some commotion, and finally the bird went away unsuccessful. How does the squirrel know that this bird is my enemy? Even sometimes we human beings don't know who is our enemies. How did this little squirrel know? And that bird looked very unusual to me. Not seen ordinarily. We see, the birds, we know peacocks, we know some of those parrots and all those things. This looks a little medium-sized, some colors, very unusual bird. And when that came, it understood that yes, this is my enemy. Immediately, defense mechanisms, protection, everything came into picture and then it has protected itself. One should see this tremendous intelligence which is all pervading in this universe and which is actually controlling this energy. What is this energy? We all know our bodies are made up of material energy or the external potency. And inside this body, a living entity is situated as Kshetrajna, as a seer. So, we see actually our own body also, we see the senses, and we also see many objects. For our senses, we need some objects to be seen. Those objects are also there, and they are also made up of this material energy. So one important point is that since we are seers only, that means we are only knowers of the field, how is it that the hands are moving, legs are moving, my eyes are working? I am only a seer inside. I am simply sitting and I am just coming to know what is happening in this field. And all those things are happening. It's exactly like you are sitting inside a car and tires are running and brake is happening and so many things are going on. You are just sitting as a passenger behind. How a seer can move something that he is seeing? Let us say I want to move this camera. I cannot move. Because I am a seer and that is seen. So, when the seer is able to move, say I am moving my hands, how is this possible? This is possible only by that energy. There is a different energy which is controlling these hands and legs and all my senses and sense objects. It's not me. I am only seeing. But the movements are happening by some other agency, and that is Nijamayaya, Krishna's energy, external energy. And then this energy is not moving erratically or without any discipline, a facade way. No, we are seeing there is a global intelligence, there is a massive intelligence behind the actions of this Jada energy, the energy which is otherwise inert, that is working wonderfully because of an intelligent personality. Actually, Shukadeva Goswami gives this logic in the second canto to prove that, of course we are seer and the scene is animated. We are seeing so many things, they are all getting animated. So that means there is an animating energy, and that is the external energy. And the director for this animation is the Supreme Lord, who is present as the Super Soul. So, Nijamayaya naha sasarja. Sometimes some devotees, they get worried about some bad thoughts or some envious thoughts or lusty thoughts in the mind. They may also become very emotional about some bad habits which are pulling them. So if you understand that all these things are, I am able to see, means I am separate from all this. Say, an envious thought comes, you are able to see, you are a seer, and you are seeing an envious thought, that means you are separate from it. It is not mine, it is coming up in the field. Why it is coming up in the field? Because previously I have put something there. It's only my own previous actions, but currently I am able to see that thought separate from me, it is actually not mine. Only because we identify with our body, with what is happening in this body, we unnecessarily assume that all these things are mine, and then struggle, and with emotions we make it complicated. So this knowledge that I am a knower, a kshetrajna, I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, it may appear to be very routine, and we have heard many times. Like yesterday also I was mentioning to some devotees, if we want to progress in Krishna consciousness, always remain fascinated by these fundamentals. You should remain fascinated. You see, Prabhupada, what is his position? A Mahabhagavata Acharya, and somebody analyzed what are the slokas that he quoted. Yeah, of course, he is quoting for us, but he is ever fascinated by quoting those same slokas again and again. Dehino esminada dehe kauma. He tells this in Paris, then goes to London. Dehino esminada dehe kauma. Prabhupada is not tired. He is ever fascinated by those fundamentals, and he wants to give that knowledge to all of us. So, these are the secret. This energy, where we see a systematic, tremendous intelligence, and that is coming from Krishna. This energy cannot move. Jada, this energy, for example, this table cannot move on its own. These are all fundamentals. Somebody has to move it. Similarly, the entire external energy is a jada. But how it is moving? That is because Krishna's direction is. So the demigods, they are aware of this. They are saying, Ya ika isho nijamayaya naha sasarja. There is only one Isha, and demigods are also Ishas. But they are saying, you are the supreme Isha. See, this knowledge demigods have. And then they are saying, we are also creating Ena Anusrujama Vishwam. We are also creating many things in this world. We are expanding the creation. But that is Anusrujama. Only because you are giving intelligence. Unless Krishna gives intelligence, we cannot do anything. This hands cannot move. This tongue cannot work. The eyes cannot see. A living entity is completely dependent like that, but why is it that it is not able to see all this? Because Isha Manina. The whole problem starts with this Manina. You are thinking. And what is that thinking? Every conditioned soul thinks that he is God. He may not really some of the people, they might really think that I am God, but as soon as one identifies himself with the body and he thinks that some creation he makes, and he thinks this is my I did it, my creation, that means he is saying I am God. Only God is the only creator. Even demigods they know that we are only secondary creators. That too, following the direction of the Supreme Lord, we are able to create something. So if the demigods are agreeing to Krishna's position as the sole doer of everything, now what about the conditioned souls? So, if we want to come out of the doership, then this is the secret. We should always recognize that Anusrujama Vishwam my Lord, I am able to create this only because, because of your direction or your intelligence. So devotees, they understand this, they depend completely on Krishna. And as Krishna permits, as Krishna directs, the devotees, they keep executing their duties, and while doing their duties, they get a lot of intelligence, insights, and those insights will enhance their performance, and then devotees become successful even with little endeavors. This is an experience of all of us. We may be doing the smallest service or whatever, you are absorbed, you are dependent on Krishna, then you will see some insights, some little light, some flash, whatever you call it, and then suddenly our work gets completed quickly. Whereas outsiders, they take so much of time to do that. Pashyama lingam prudagishaman. Okay, now if somebody thinks that I am also a creator, I am also a doer, then what happens? The demigods are saying, na pashyama. We will not be able to see your form, my Lord. Now this is the danger. Although Krishna, Lord, is there in the heart, and when He appears physically, He will be there, He may be there in front of us, but the conditioned soul will not be able to recognize Him because we are absorbed in ourselves as the Isha. Every conditioned soul thinks that the whole world, whole Vishwa is centered around him. When he gets into a community or gets into some kind of a group also, that self prominence will be very strongly be present in the mind. Things should happen the way I want, things should be for my comfort, things should be centered around me, I should get the attention. This is the thinking of a conditioned soul. He wants to become the cynosure of the eyes of the whole community. As soon as he enters, everybody should see him. Everybody should. And if they don't see him, he becomes depressed. He becomes very neglected. He thinks, nobody is recognizing me, and gets neglected. That's because of his thinking, Ishamanina. So, the only counteraction to this Ishamanina is one single word that is called Sevonmukha. That's why, with the same senses, we are not able to see Krishna. How is it that, just by Sevonmukha, now we are able to see? So that is the power of this Sevonmukhehi Jivhadau Swayameva. Now this is the secret. The senses are same apparently, but as soon as your attitude changes and you become Sevonmukha, inclined to render service, then you will be able to see and perceive Krishna. This is the secret. That's why devotees, as soon as we meet someone, we tries to engage him in some service. LLP preachers or whoever is in the field, they know, as soon as we go, we put some 2 kaja pieces in his hand. And then the natural tendency in tuck he'll put. Immediately things have started working. Is simultaneously rendering service to Krishna. And so you will see a complete difference in the way he deals with us. Before eating kaja, after eating kaja, you can see a stark difference. And we make them chant. Chanting is service. Hearing is service. So like that, when a conditioned soul is induced to do devotional service to Krishna, then he will start understanding about Krishna. He gets revelations, and then on his own, he will, take steps to advance if he is fortunate. So, our particular situation is that we are here. Madhvacharya has mentioned that we are all conditioned to various degrees. Now, in each of the living entities, the various degrees of conditioning. But everybody is conditioned. What is this conditioning? We are subjected to follow innumerable conditions in our life. And each person has his own set of conditions to follow. Like I was discussing with one devotee how, when, for example, some devotees, when they eat, they have to wait for 6 to 7 hours to again eat something. But some devotees within 3 hours or 3.5 hours completely digested, hungry. Where is the next position? He is very hungry. The condition for him is 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And condition for him is 6 hours or 7 hours. But both of them are having conditions. One may feel like eating whole day. Go on eating. But actually no, there is a condition. So like that, there are innumerable conditions. If somebody sits down and tries to list down the conditions that he has to follow, oh my God, so many conditions are there. But these conditions are not same. Somebody who is in Sattva Guna, his conditions are less. He feels more freedom, free from diseases, free from all these things. He can also see things as they are. His knowledge is bright. And so he doesn't get implicated in conditions, breaking conditions unnecessarily. He can see. Why misery comes? Because we break these conditions. We don't follow the conditions. As soon as we break, then the reaction is ready. The reaction is ready. So that's why Sattva-guna means you should see, oh, these are the conditions, let me adhere to it so that it's all clean. Now, devotees, after we became devotees, whatever condition we may be, we are trained up to rise to the level of Sattva-guna. When we take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, Prabhupada, first of all, he gives the sadhana process. A regiment he gives, where you have to discipline your mind and body and everything. Day after day, day after day, day after day. Automatically the devotee comes to Sattvic platform. But this process is, coming to Sattva-guna process is not easy. It is full of tapasya. Not easy. Generally not easy. Like Vishwamitra, to get rid of his passion and come to Sattva-guna, what and all he had to do. But in our case, that process is being made joyful by Lord Chaitanya, by this process of Sankirtan, Prasadam, chanting and all those things. So, devotees, if they can apply themselves to this process, which is given by Prabhupada, gradually they come to this Sattva-guna. They can see how this world works, and so that we don't break any of the rules of this world also. And then there are rules, conditions of even the spiritual life. So a devotee slowly develops his knowledge and tries to discipline himself by those injunctions, Shastric injunctions or Guru's instructions. So this is the key point. If we want to become disciple, we have to be disciplined. We have to, happily accept discipline. More discipline, more happy. Why? Because I am saved from the future misery. Because unknowingly if I break something, misery will come. And so that's why they want to be they want to be very careful. Now this big misery has come to these demigods. Why? Because Indra has killed a Brahmana priest, Vishwarupa, out of anger, in a fit of anger, just killed him off. Now he is facing the result. What is the result? The consequence is that Vishwarupa's father, Twasta, he becomes angry. See, you have to see all this. Consequences means. Now he does a homa, a yajna, and he says, he prays to the yajna purusha that please give me a son who can kill Indra. Then comes Rudrasura. And then to face Rudrasura, now again they are approaching the Supreme Lord. Let us say Indra did not do that, killing of Vishwarupa. No problem, no. They won't be in this miserable condition. Right? Now this is one more important point. We should offer our services to Krishna in Satuguna. We offer our foodstuff in Satuguna, highest, best quality. Similarly, we should also offer our services in Satuguna. That means what? When I am doing my service, I am not hurting, disturbing any of the stakeholders. I am not breaking any rules. I am not being cruel or destructive in my thinking. I am not, this is the kind of thinking. Dvesha is not there. This is the Sattvic offering means. We cannot think, no, it's Krishna's service, I will do whatever way I want, and because it is Krishna's service, doesn't matter. No, yes, that is Krishna's service, but we have to offer the best quality service to Krishna. Whatever is the best quality that we can offer. And that is the service in Satuguna. So, here, although demigods are in Satuguna generally, they committed some mistake, and then we are seeing the consequences. And consequences have to be addressed. Similarly, when we also do anything, particularly representing the organization, we should be very careful about the future bondage or consequences. And so, do a lot of deliberation, do a lot of consultation before we do anything. So by consulting, by taking all the help, still something goes wrong. Okay, we tried our best. It is the wish of the Supreme Lord. We can take it like that. So that's the some of the points here. The crucial point is that the Ishamanina, thinking that I am God, can be counteracted only by increasing our service aptitude, wanting to do more and more, wanting to give more and more service to Krishna. That very attitude, whether we are able to really give or not, that is the best remedy to counteract this Ishamanina. Any questions? Yeah.
A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he is actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. So this and what you told in the beginning, are they related to?
Yeah, they are related. A pure devotee who is completely absorbed in the service of the Lord, he gets liberated from this bodily engagement. That liberation is explained as like a coconut inside the shell. Actually, it gets disconnected, although it is within the shell. A dried coconut like that. So similarly, a devotee who is absorbed in the service of the Lord, gradually he becomes liberated. Actually, as soon as he is absorbed, he is in a liberated platform. But as soon as we don't have any work or we don't do any service, then comes Maya, knocks the door. Are you free? Are you free? I am free. Maya will say, I am always waiting for you to be free. So then we immediately identify ourselves as enjoyer. I am the Isha. I am the enjoyer. All this feeling, ego will come. Then that's all. That's a miserable life. Yeah. Any other?
Prabhu, one more question. And in 27 sloka in third chapter, the bewildered spirit soul under the influence of the three modes of material nature thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are in actually carried out by nature. That and 5.8 both are related, Prabhu.
Actually, although the soul by nature is a seer inside, but we feel that we are doing, and we also feel that we are knowing. I am the knower, I am the doer. That's because he identifies with the body. So that is called bewilderment at the level of ego. See, one should know mind is not all. Above mind there is intelligence, above intelligence there is ego, and all these guys are bringing their own demands, bringing their own confusions into our system. One should know this. So, in the mind something comes, that's not the end of it. And don't identify with those thoughts and become very depressed. Oh, I am like this, you are not that. So, bewilderment comes only because when you think, I am this body, Ishamanina, when you get that feeling. So, the only counteraction is focus on this fundamental. What is that? I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, I am an eternal servant of Guru and Krishna. We go on repeating, I am eternal servant of Guru and Krishna. Try to act on that platform. So when you can develop that personality, then we will be freed from this mental harassment. Otherwise it is not possible. Okay, last question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, you were mentioning about universal intelligence.
Yeah.
So because of that, every living entity is getting intelligence, just like the scientists are like blown away about how the ants and other living entities are getting this intelligence.
Yeah.
So now today the modern scientists or this people, they have created artificial intelligence, AI,
Yeah.
and they say that this is now everything, the whole world is fascinated by this artificial intelligence, and every gadget, every software is powered by this AI. So as devotees, like how much we should be fascinated by this artificial intelligence?
Actually, outsiders, they get fascinated and they get attached. Devotees, we become fascinated and we become detached. What is this fascination and detachment? We become fascinated, and what is our detachment? Yukta Vairagya detachment. Not, use nahi karunga, no, this is not me, this is not. No, that is not the process. Our detachment is, how can I use it for Krishna? Let them work very hard, produce AI, BI, CI, whatever. Whatever they want, let them produce. We'll simply take and use it for Krishna. The Prabhupada says, rats, they work very hard, dig big this thing and build their houses, and meanwhile comes one snake, goes inside, eats the rat and lives comfortably. So we are like that. Let them work very hard, encourage them, and then when they produce something, we should use it for Krishna. But then, Yukta Vairagya has to be done under guidance, careful guidance. Yukta Vairagya is like going to a pond for fishing. So you are thinking, oh, I'll get nice fish, I can catch. Using this technology, I can catch somebody. Using this, I can catch somebody. We are going and trying to catch the fish. The problem is, when you put this bite and you're waiting, something has come, let us say it is not fish, but it is a timingala. You will be pulled in and you will be swallowed. So when we are doing this Yukta Vairagya of this technology and all, we are trying to catch somebody, but Maya comes to catch you. Yes, come. So that's why we should be very careful. Under the direction of older devotees and seniors, we should utilize this. So we are also fascinated because this is intelligence of the Lord. Our body is nothing but a robo. Inside the body we are there as seers. So they will come to robotic technology, they will come to all this, but they can never manufacture a soul. They cannot manufacture consciousness. Now they are doing innumerable researches on what is this consciousness. They are also now talking. They are thinking consciousness is a brain phenomena and they are going in that direction. So anyway, that's so yes, we are also excited because we see Krishna's intelligence, and but our thinking is, how can I use it for Krishna? Anusrujama. Anu means following the direction of the authorities, Guru and Krishna. We can engage anything in this world in the service of the Lord. And I am saying universal intelligence because the ant knows that the grain is uneatable. A snake also knows. If you pour little milk, snake comes, or a cat can come, or any other jiva, they all know this is my food. It's a uniform intelligence. Everybody knows that these are all my eatables. So universal intelligence, that's why we see there is some understanding of what is my food, what is my enemy, all those things. So it's not a, somehow by chance, it has developed some intelligence like that. We see there is an all-pervading intelligence, a uniform, commonly understood intelligence is also there. We can see that. So that's why it is coming from one single personality, and that is Super Soul or the Krishna. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.